into the Lady Charmaine live show, and I'm your host, Lady Charmaine. And as always, I got another great interview for you today. My guest today is an award-winning recording artist who is hailed one of the leaders of the new school of gospel. He already has three full-length albums under his belt, and he did it all by the age of 28. And he was recently named a new member of Mensa, an international high IQ society. And he's here today to talk about being a judge on the return of BET's Sunday Best. Help me welcome to the Lady Charmaine live show, Mr. Jonathan Reynolds. McReynold's, that is. Welcome to the show.
Hey, how you doing?
I am good. Excited to have you on the show because you are one of my favorite gospel artists, and I'm sure you hear that all the time. So we're going to talk about you and your music. But first, I wanted to say, Jonathan, you are smart for real. Now, some people think they smart, but you are literally tested smart. So, what was your IQ on the test for the Mensa test since you were part of the high IQ society?
I think it's like 132. But no, I don't think of it as an accomplishment. I think of it as a diagnosis. it just it gives a reason for all the weird, crazy stuff that
Oh,
I am. So I ain't tripping. Yeah.
so as a kid growing up, were you considered that unique type of kid, that square peg trying to fit into a round hole type of thing?
Yeah, when I was younger, I remember doing all the little tests and stuff like that, then trying to figure out, why is he thinking this way? Why is he able to read like this and write like this? I remember all that, and honestly, most of my life, my life was kind of defined by just being smart and winning spelling bees and whatnot. So I never would have expected that my life was going to turn to music the way it did. I wanted to be a meteorologist, a weatherman, and that's really what my mind was. But God had His own plan.
I see, because I see that you went to Moody Theological Seminary and you are currently an adjunct member of the Columbia College faculty. What subject do you teach?
I teach a band, actually. I teach a band, and we're geared towards actually doing a lot of gospel repertoire. So I get to kind of bring my life full circle like that.
And when you say writing, and how does he write like that? You're also an official contributor to the Huffington Post.
Yeah, and I released a book last fall, Make Room, to go with my album. So writing is kind of a second love for me these days. I guess it was a good transition from writing songs to writing, different kinds of literature.
Absolutely. And so now you've transitioned into music because you blew us all away when you came on the scene. And I mean, blew us away. I mean, the song Loving Me gave people inspiration, and no matter what we're going through, how God just keeps on loving us. Did you expect your music to be so well received right out the gate?
No, I didn't actually. From the song "No Gray," that has really, kind of become like the foundation of everything I've done since. We weren't even going to release that. We
Mm.
figured, oh man, it's probably not gospel enough, and so it's just crazy how things have happened, in the past 7 8 years. But I'm really grateful. I'm really, honestly, just thankful for the just how God decided to make my life turn out, and I'm grateful that people are resonating with the words that I wrote.
You know, what's amazing. See, I could put your playlist on, and I put it on while I'm sitting at my desk. Your music has such a sweet anointing to it, and I could literally be sitting here typing, and I have to stop, and I just like my spirit just it literally woosahs. It was like, oh. Your music has that effect, the anointing that's literally on your voice, and the song that I literally sing just walking around the house and washing dishes is Cycles. I mean, it is so pretty and just so, I mean, it seems it's just so angelic and melodic, and the young lady that sings with you, and you could just feel that because all of us have gone through some type of cycle and something in our lives, and it's like get off of this cycle that you're on. And did you realize that songs like that, and I'm not lucky, I'm loved, because people think you're lucky, and you say I'm loved, and your list goes on. Where do you go to get those songs downloaded from the Lord? Is there a special place that you go?
I don't think I really go anywhere. Just life, you just look at your life, and sometimes things just pop out at you. Words just pop out at you. Conversations, prayers, they're converting the songs. And so, yeah, I don't go anywhere. I just really, try to address my own humanity with my Christianity. And, I normally just start with just being flat out human and imperfect and stressed out and pressured and worried or feeling great. I'm feeling blessed.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just, as you personally look for God in those moments, I look for God in those songs.
Amen. And see, you're a gospel artist, so I could see that you love gospel music because I watched your Who Ran That, and you got them almost all correct. I mean, you recognize those runs, and I mean, I flunked the test real hard because I'm like, and that sounds like I was so wrong, but you know your artist. Who are some of your favorite gospel artists?
Gospel, well, Kim Burrell is to me one of the, if she's not the greatest of all time, she's one of the greatest vocalists of all time. So I love her. Kirk Franklin is one of the greatest of all time, especially as a writer and producer. Uh, even Smokey Norfolk and people like that, they just made so much, incredible music. I enjoy even the music that we're making in this generation. Travis Greens, Tasha Cobbs and Anthony Browns of the world. So, gospel to me is the best genre in the world. So it's an honor to represent it when I can.
And you will be representing it beginning this Sunday with Sunday Best returning, which is one of my favorite shows because it literally takes us all to church. So I want you to tell us about the show and the judges.
Yes, coming on this Sunday on BT, 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock Central. I'm really excited about it. For me, it was an opportunity to pick a teammate. We're out here, representing God. We're trying to present the faith in Jesus to this generation. And I got a chance this season to look for a teammate. I got a chance to find somebody that could join us in that presentation. And it was really just an incredible experience. A lot of incredible singers from young to old, contemporary to traditional. And we really enjoyed trying to find the best of that 20 people. And now it's kind of up to y'all to choose who is the best.
Now, what was that challenge like? Because you got some people out there that can just not sing but sang, and you had to literally narrow that down to 20 people. How difficult was that?
Oh, it got really hard, by the end. We were really just like, oh, I can't believe somebody has to go.
Mm-hmm.
And, we definitely had a few arguments in the back, trying to decide who deserved to keep going. So I think it was just it was as hard as it was supposed to be. It was as tough as it was supposed to be. And, we're blessed that, this is just a stacked genre. So many talented people. So now we really get to choose somebody who we believe can make impact immediately. And I think that we did well in doing that.
Now, Jason Warrior, I remember him when he was on the floor because I saw him on the previews that he's also going to be on this show. And I look forward to seeing him on this show. Now, as a judge, what type of judge are you? And especially as a new judge, are you the type of person who really doesn't want to hurt anyone's feelings? Are you a no nonsense judge? What can we expect to see from you on the show?
Well, I mean, nobody wants to hurt anybody's feelings. Nobody, we recognize who we're representing, and so nobody wants to come in there like a bull in a china shop. But we owe it to them to be truthful. We owe it to them to, to be kind of no nonsense because we understand that audiences, especially when, outside of church, which is going to be very important for this generation, they're going to be no nonsense. And sometimes they're going to be skeptical and they're going to be critical. And so, people have to be ready for that. It's not an easy job at all. It's not an easy calling. And so as far as in comparison to Kelly and Erica, I was probably no nonsense judge. But we were always being authentic. We were always trying to do everything in love, sure.
Now, out of the 20 contestants, which contestants were you impressed with the most?
You gotta watch. You gotta watch
I
it.
want to know. Give us a glimpse, at least
no,
one.
You gotta watch it. I mean, no, you gotta watch it. I think the last two the top two that you guys will be choosing from for the winner, I believe those really were the top two. Those are my top two all
Mm.
along. So I'm really excited about the way it turned. Well, not all along, but I mean those are just my top two. For sure. I think we made good decisions from week to week, and I think that who's up there deserves to be there.
Now let me tell you where I got this question from because this is what made me watch American Idol this particular season. Simon Cowell was asked the same question because it was before the season started. He said a young lady's name because they wanted to know like who should we look out for. He said look out for a young lady by the name of Fantasia Barrino. So I'm like, so when I heard the last name Barrino, I'm thinking it's an Italian young woman. So the whole time I was watching it, so when Fantasia came up, so I said, let me watch her because he said watch her, and she ended up winning the show. So I was just watching her just to see, okay, let me see what Simon was talking about, who he was impressed with, and it was her. And she went on to end up, of course, winning American Idol, and look where she is today. So that's why I was asking you the question: who were you impressed with the most? Not to tell me who won, just curious to see who should I look out for. But behind the scenes, when you look at the behind the scenes, I know you said there was a lot of arguments and stuff behind the scenes, but you who wanted to be a recording artist and became a recording artist, did you ever audition for Sunday Best?
Yeah, actually, the first season they ever had it, I really didn't know what it was, and I didn't know that I was auditioning. I was somebody kind of put me up to it and told me to go to this place, and it was kind of weird because I just really didn't have a clue. I was, Sunday Best had never been done before. I was 17 years old, just didn't understand what was happening, and I got in there, and once I realized kind of what was happening, I tried my best, but I didn't get far at all. I sang for 3 seconds, and that was it, never to be heard of again. So it's really cool to have it come full circle, and now I'm one of the judges.
Isn't that amazing? I was just wondering, because you sing so beautifully. Like, did you ever audition and now you are seeing the audition process? You've been in that process. You say you didn't get far, and now you're a judge on the show. So that is literally full circle for you. But I want to just give you this before we go. I would love to hear a collaboration between you, Jay Moss, and Jesse Campbell. You guys have the most beautiful voices, literally to me, on the planet. And like I always tell Jay, he's a good friend of mine. Y'all sing like birds. And Jesse Campbell, too. I would love to hear all of you guys do a song together. What would that sound like? So if y'all ever.
That'd be dope.
I
So, yeah,
think
we'll
so.
see. Jay Moss is definitely a friend. Jesse, I don't think I've ever met him before, but we'll see, yeah. I
And
always looked up to Jay Moss when I was growing up, for sure.
oh yeah, because you guys remind me so much. I'm gonna shoot Jay a text and just let him know I think this should happen, and I want to see how that go. But before we go, what else can we expect to see from you so people know to look out? I know you said you had a book. What else can we expect to see from you before we go?
There's a lot of stuff happening, a lot of great business things that are going to be happening for the rest of this year. Plus, we're going to start releasing some new music as soon as we can record. As soon as we get some time, it's been crazy, but I'm writing some new music, some new business, crazy products and stuff like that that's going to be coming out by the end of this year. So make sure you just stay tuned for it.
Wonderful. And again, I want to remind the audience to make sure that you tune in to BET Sunday Best this Sunday, 8 p.m., the best show on the planet. They're getting ready to take us to church again, y'all. And I look forward to seeing this show again. I want to let you know who the judges are. We got the host, Mr. Kirk Franklin, judges Kelly Price, Jonathan McReynold's, and Miss Erica Campbell. And again, I want to say thank you to my special guest today, Mr. Jonathan McReynolds. Thank you so much, Jonathan, for coming on the show.
Thank you, ladies. I love you.
Love you too. Thank you.